Right folks, welcome back to another video. We're back again in the MK8 Golf R, and as promised in the last video, we're going to be trying out some octane booster today to try and edge closer to that 500 horsepower mark on the standard turbo. We're going to get it back on the dyno at MRC Tuning as usual, get a few runs in and see what the car can do, and then once we're done with that, we'll head out to some country roads and just see what the car drives like. But yeah, let's get cracking. Right, okay, so we're here at MRC Tuning in Banbury as always. MK8's just there getting on the dyno now. Right, so we're inside. Today we're just going to be focusing purely on the octane booster map. There's going to be no changes to hardware. Now if you haven't caught up on the exhaust video, we got this re-dynoed after fitting the intake and of course the exhaust, and we're up at around 460 PS. We actually got the graph here on the screen. So this is one of the runs, 458.6, and we've got 599 Newton meters. Now in terms of octane booster, this is what we're going to be running. We have used it in the past on the channel, so it's NF octane booster. The only thing with these cars at the minute is there is no map switching. So once we've done this video, I'm going to have to go film a drive, then come back and we'll switch it back to 99. On the Mark 7, the RS3, you could just have different maps. But yeah, it's going to take a bit longer on the Mark 8. So a quick recap on the hardware. We've got an even cheery intake. We've got the DO88 intercooler. We've got a full Cobra turbo back exhaust. It is quite interesting now. It's already at 458 with a standard turbo, but the new Conti unit is pretty stout. So we'll see what it can do with a bit more thrown at it.
We'll just run a bit more boost, more timing, and see what we get. So it'll be nice if it does 470 something.
What sort of boost levels are we at the 458?
1.95.
1.95 bar.
Yeah.
Cool, we'll get cracking with some dyno runs. Let you guys enjoy that. And we'll see how it goes. Right, so that was a few runs there. We're back again with Doug again.
Running 0.1 bar more boost across the revs. Top end it starts to tail off just because the actuator's starting to max out. And about 4 degrees timing more across the revs.
Yeah.
And that's added...
It's just a pretty fair amount,
26.
Isn't it? Yeah.
26 PS and 35-40 Newton meters of torque across the revs.
It is pretty crazy how we're at mid 480s just on the standard turbo, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, I think. It's sort of what you were expecting or wanting right at the start now. So.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the way it was getting up to 460 in the last video, I was thinking potentially if we had octane booster in there, it might push it up another 15 to 20, but that's done a fair amount there, so 480 comfortably. Would you say that's pretty much at the limit of this turbo now?
There's probably a little bit more in it if we use race fuel, but you're maxing out the turbo top end, so you're not going to run any more boost top end.
In terms of a comparison of those sort of numbers on the 7R, what type of hybrid would you have to run?
It's all the larger compressor, stock shaft hybrids, like the 450 spec turbos. It's pretty close to what they would do.
Yeah.
They're sort of 450 to 470 and then 460 to 500 on octane booster, so you're pretty close to that.
It's also making sense as well with the exhaust factor in the prior video where we were talking about how it just got us so much more just by changing even the cat back out. Yeah. And typically on like a 7R, when you're at hybrid level, you would do an exhaust, right? So
on a 500, on a 7R, you would do the cat back. But I think after seeing this and the shaft speeds, it's probably best to do that even down at the lower 400s.
Right folks, so we made it out to some country roads. Weather's a bit hit and miss, but it seems to have dried up a bit in this particular area, so we should be okay. But either way, in the damp, it is quite fun, this car, because of the rear diff. But yeah, 484 PS, pretty crazy, isn't it? And it could go more if you used obviously race fuel and E85, etc. But this is just with a bottle of octane booster. So very impressive. I've noticed we haven't actually taken this thing for a drive since the updates in the exhaust video. The car's actually been revised in many areas. The graph is a bit different. It has less overrun. See, it doesn't carry on now. It's less cringy. It's 2. the gear shifts sound insane. They're like just constant blips. Now in terms of some data straight off the bat, a few days ago on my Instagram, if you follow me on there, I did post 100 to 200 time on pure 99 run, and the best I got was an 8.28. It sort of averages out to about 8.3, 8.4 if you carry on going and let the car heat soak. But it goes to show how much quicker the car is now, excluding the octane booster. I know there's a lot of back and forth. Whereas before we were like in mid-9s, so the whole thing about the car going into drivetrain error and causing limp mode, there was some logic to that, and it made sense now because it's knocked off a second, and that's not 30 PS, believe me, that was something else causing that. In terms of an octane booster, I have been attempting it, but the Autobahn has been pretty drenched over the last day or so. I know it looks dry here, but believe me, weather has been insane. And I have got another, well, there's a pretty interesting video arriving to the channel in a few days time, so I ain't gonna have enough time to get that done this week, but I will get you an octane booster 100-200 very soon. This is fast, this is quick, it's so much more angrier than before. I don't know if some of you guys could sense a bit of a disappointment in my initial stage 2 first drive. The car was just making too much noise, it was glitching out, but all of that's gone now. Gear shifts feel quicker. Yeah, credit to MRC Tuning. Mini has been working on the map pretty much constantly. All these revisions, I'm pretty much going down every other day, so they're always tweaking it. I think we're up to like 50 dyno runs now. See what I mean? Just first, second, clean. Oh, it's just so nice with the bends, this car. Goes where you want it to go. No weird uncertainty on the wheel. This is a rapid car now. Wow. On stage 3, because this is like basically stage 3 power, isn't it, on a, say, an E8 AAA Gen 3 with the IS38 hybrids. I mean, the overrun is predictable, but it's not overkill. And when it's in comfort mode now, it totally goes. That was the other difference. Before, it was carrying on doing these bangs even in comfort mode, albeit quieter. Now if I want to cruise, I can be completely incognito and just listen to the intake. Now this is actually very similar power to that Mark 7 GTI build that we did. Very close, and that was on a hybrid turbo, albeit on a weaker block. The only thing I miss is the lack of traction noises, you know, like the drilling. Right, let's launch it here. See if it goes to plan. S mode. I told you it was fixed. It's doing 4-wheel spin on launch. It's doing all of this. Love it. Mark 8R with a bit extra power, slightly damp conditions, and provided you are a complete fool and you don't stick in a hedge, you'll have a great time. I could have said the same before about these cars. It was always GTI for me. There's some leaves there, nice. And then it quietens down. There is no doubt in my mind that this is a seriously fast car now. All on a standard turbo. And yeah, if we weren't on octane booster today, my thoughts would have been exactly the same. So don't see this as, oh, because he's on fancy fuel. Not at all. Since the tweaks have been made from the 460, from that earlier, you know, when we were having issues at 430 horsepower, that was all in limp mode pretty much. This is real stage 2. I'm glad that I did go for an R this time in the Mark 8 rather than another GTI, because it actually feels like a newer experience to me. Granted, I have had you know, Haldex cars in the past. I know this is Magna, but you know, like the four-wheel drive VAG hatchback. I feel like with the Mark 8 GTI I would have been pretty much just experiencing the same as the Mark 7 GTI, because it's the same kind of VAQ diff at the front, whereas with this compared to the Mark 7R, the back is totally different. It's got a Magna diff, the old one didn't, so it's a new experience. Right folks, so what we'll do, we'll end the video here. As I said, I'll get you octane booster draggies soon, so just bear with me on it. You've got the 99 RON ones, we'll work on that as well. We'll probably get it a bit quicker also. Just pull up here on this little muddy patch. I need to head back to MRC Tuning now, get this switch back to the 99 RON map, unless I fancy something going wrong, because you can't just casually put 99 in this afterwards because it's expecting a high octane. But yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for a lot more content to come, and look out for a very special video that will be dropping on the channel very soon. It's a bit of an achievement for the channel and myself, but yeah, I'll leave you folks to it.